No.
Yes.
No.
Yes!
No.
All right, you two, hold up.
Donkey!
Objection! Give me the damage.
Nuh-uh.
Did you just nuh-uh?
What you mean, nuh-uh? Nuh-uh.
I hope his apprentice is learning a lot of valuable things today.
My learned friend has no evidence that the stage had such a contrivance in its design.
Bro.
We've literally never seen a photographic print of a hole. That would be ridiculous.
Bro. Someone
Not once have we seen a single photographic print of a hole.
No, absolutely not. I absolutely not. Which is why I'm going to present something from my evidence. Hello, everyone. KVTV on the Sun. Welcome back to this case. We almost got a little trouble, but Ryanosuke is now going to point out that someone else was likely involved with the whole experimentation because we still can't deny the fact there were potentially 2 bird cages. Who is the other person, though?
Someone else? Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, my lord. Mr. Drebber had an accomplice.
Objection!
An accomplice now. Well then, I presume you're prepared for what's to come.
Maybe?
Now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious of crimes. Bro, you're accusing your best friend. Like, I don't want to hear it from you, alright?
I mean, that's his job.
If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander.
Community service, got it.
Isn't this already community service?
Maybe?
You intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter?
I will accuse anyone I need to, as long as someone else is guilty.
What do I do here? At the moment, this is little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Drebber had an accomplice, or even if he really is the culprit here.
Alright, who broke it? Not mad, just disappointed. I broke it. No, you did it. You didn't break it. Look, I'll just pay. No. I broke it.
Everyone stop trying to break Enoch Drebber. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear as a lawyer. So what's my stance going to be? Did Drebber have an accomplice or not?
Well, first, do we have anyone that we're gonna name if he did have an accomplice?
We do.
Courtney.
Oh, well, KV just volunteered someone, so I guess we do. Yep, we're gonna have a name, so. Am I gonna say if it's right or wrong? Absolutely not.
I mean, you don't have to say if it's right or wrong. I'm gonna go with my gut on this because all the rest of the evidence lines up with the fact that it would be her.
Look, I got a name, and I'm gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna pick the name. Since you called it out, I ain't gonna answer anything. The defense is ready to name Mr. Drebber's accomplice. Somehow the 2 bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. So who's wrong here? But that inconsistency itself is a clue.
Counsel!
Huh? My lord?
You have received a stock warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. So, your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice?
You've been given a grave warning. It's only 1 penalty, though.
Of a completely unassailable man. Okay. All right. I heard Miss Courtney Sith. We're going to pick her because that's all we got.
Take that!
The name of the person in question is...
What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? Suddenly fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little late for that.
Surely. You said suddenly.
Oh, surely fear doesn't... Surely, I'm sorry. I'm sauced right now. I mean, I have opened at least 2 bottles. I'm not...
You didn't drink anything from the second one.
You can't prove it. I haven't been on screen most of that time.
You're right.
Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little late for that.
Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely going to make waves. A lot of waves. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me. He's getting PTSD from Case 5 in the first game.
I'm sure it will be alright, Mrs. Naruhodo.
I don't believe you, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sato.
The enemy always appear larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy.
What?
Alright
Look,
then, here
The
goes.
idea is that, yeah, you're going to look like you're in hot water, but the moment the enemy catches on that you're onto them, they're going to be like, oh crap, I'm
They're
in hot water. I need to fix this.
You've kept us waiting long enough. You'll answer, Counsel. Now.
The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe.
What? What the blazes are you talking about? Dr. Scythe?
The head of the forensic investigation team, and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim.
I mean, we didn't get a penalty.
We know there were 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators, and the area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. When else could the switch have occurred? It can only have been in that team's presence. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify.
You got no lad. You got no lad. Standing up there, slinging the yard's name through the mud.
I didn't mean to.
I know the woman very well. There's no better danger room walker out there. Don't call it that. How dare you call her a criminal?
My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once.
A grave problem?
Oh my word.
Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger?
Funny you should mention that.
Yeah, what?
Certainly, if the birdcage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must also have contained a body.
And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Aspen.
Yes, but what if I told you about a head?
That's true. If my argument is that there were 2 bird cages, then there must have also been one person inside each.
No, not one person.
A wax person. Close enough. But I don't know if I've got an answer to this yet. Have I? Oh,
No,
do.
you have any evidence?
What can I do to reveal how this body double stunt was achieved?
Do we have evidence?
Yes.
Let's start. Well, let's look at the
We do.
evidence.
We do.
Oh, never mind. All right.
This. We have this.
Yep.
We don't have the whole body, but we have this.
We don't have the whole
Alright.
body, but considering they also made the mask, that's pretty heavy, I would say.
We don't have the whole body, but we're ahead of the game on this one.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Hey. Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concerns.
Wait, why are you saying that?
That's what he said. By presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Asmon's body double.
Good gracious. Evidence? Oh, I do hope this isn't filibustering, Counsel. The court is expecting a name.
How could be said it, learned friend? Hang on, that's my thing. You can't say that.
Yes, I can. There's no rule that I can't.
You can't say that. I say that. What the hell, man?
He called Dip.
He
called
called dibs.
dibs.
This is not a. He called dibs. Is not a hodo. I don't think you're allowed to say that.
There's no
Yes, I called
rule.
dibs. See?
There's no
See?
rule saying I can't say it in court.
Yes, I called
Look,
dibs. Oh, I'm sorry. You not have
said-
dibs and Nippon? Like, what's the deal
Look,
here?
listen, not a hodo. There's no rule saying a dog can't play basketball, but there is a rule saying that if someone calls dibs, they call dibs.
There's no such rule, Miss Sato.
Alright, so I'm not crazy. Like, that's a rule in Nippon too, right? Like, it's not just me? Alright, cool. So you don't have an excuse here. Like, what the hell, man?
Oh my god.
I called dibs on this. Anyway, if you think you have relevant evidence, present it now.
The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the ball. The ball? The ball? That was
Inside the
floating-
ball, I see, yes.
Like a dog likes to play with.
Inside the balloon that was floating above the stage. Which means that any witnesses would only have seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of that explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? I love the constant switching of measurements here. Aha! The body double inside the second birdcage was... Barum!
Take that!
Take this head! We know that the victim, Mr. Asman, was in the birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage. And therefore he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the crystal tower.
Yes, Counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events.
And that body double inside the second birdcage was in fact... don't choke now.
It's alright, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. Just steel yourself and come out with it.
Wax!
Thank you, Mr. Sato. I needed
Channel Vincent Price.
that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was... As unbelievable as it may seem, this suddenly appeared in the courtroom. That thing there!
Hang on! Hang on!
How did they get here?
I have several questions!
Mr. Sholmes hasn't really said anything in a while. Maybe he's the one who dragged it
Yeah,
up
he
here.
just rolled it in while he
Oh.
was doing his
Comes over here, it's like, hang on, I know where he's going with this. I can set this up.
Everyone else just like, I wonder what that guy's doing in the middle of shoot. There's a specific word for that area of the court.
I'm doing art!
What I know is that if you go in there,
Oh
the
my
bailiff will tackle you.
Objection!
That's pretty horrifying.
I don't even know what to say to this. Okay, alright, okay.
Oh, please say this in the most, like, sexiest voice you can do. I'm sorry, I'm reading this line and I'm just like, oh.
I got you, hang on, I got you.
I mean, that's
I
what
got
I
you. No, shh. I got you. Hang on. Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese friend.
Oh, baby. Need the saxophone.
I think it's coming on to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Now tell me. What the hell are you playing at?
They play the sexy saxophone from Star Fox Adventures.
I hate you!
Stand firm now, Ryunosuke. This is the time to show your Japanese spirit, and everything is wrong in my head now. Just reading all these lines, anyway. As
It's
the
the time to
court...
show your Japanese spirit, Renosuke.
Yeah.
Open your
Feel the
eyes,
power of
stare
jazz.
into his, and share your Japanese spirit.
It was at that moment that his apprentice regained all of his memories and went, "No, that's my boyfriend."
Gosh, Ryanosuke, why do you have so many boyfriends? Save some for the rest of us. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model.
Oh no, the baby
The
slaps.
baby slaps are back! A model, in fact, of an infamous London murderer from 10 years ago. The Professor.
Objection!
You started by indicating the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. And now you moved on to indicting waxwork?
Yes! Yes! That's about the size of it.
But why? And why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give?
I don't know, to trigger you.
I like that, like, the way Van Zix is just talking wasn't like, "No, this is stupid." He's just like, "I'm so baffled at this. Like, no, what the hell is this? What's going on? Am I being punked?"
He's so baffled, he's mad about it.
If you want to know why, ask Mr. Trevor.
What?
Just days before Professor Harebrained performed his public demonstration, Mr. Trevor abducted this model from Madame Tuspel's.
Did you say abducted?
And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum.
And the timing.
Is this true, Mr. Trevor?
Man.
I think his speech thingy is broken.
Windows Vista update corrupted.
Currently
At first-
booting Windows 93.
At first, I couldn't see why Mr. Trevor would have stolen the waxwork and then give it back again. But now the reason is clear. He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Asman.
Error.
Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Like, I'm not crazy, right? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on a public stage in front of a vast audience.
Yeah, I mean, from outside perspective, it is kind of ridiculous.
And that to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide?
I mean, you got the thing into the courtroom somehow. That's pretty impressive. No one noticed.
The baby slap.
Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. A jury?
My lord! I don't know someone. I need
hey.
to speak, if you please.
The guy who is not actually American.
The guy who has whatever voice I remember to give him at the time.
Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement.
We have?
Yes, we spoke psychically.
Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leadings for the court to hear now.
I'm not gonna lie, juror number one is the single most,
Guilty.
unremarkable juror I've ever seen, and I never have any clue what voice to give him.
He's just
can
your
make
average.
popcorn?
He's your average British person, man.
Yes, fish and chips, tea and crumpets, and all that.
And
Boy,
after
you got my fish and chips.
Yes.
Oh yeah, don't forget cucumber sandwiches.
Oh, ew, no!
What? But Lewis, you know about cucumber sandwiches. Professor Pickle loves those.
Ah!
So, as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus.
I knew that was going to happen.
We shall get through this with Naruto, as we always do. And uncover some new truths along the way. I'm quite sure.
Yes, I agree. I'm going to have to appeal to the jurors as usual, and see if I can persuade them to change their minds.
As usual.
As usual. It's just another day in court as usual.
The judge isn't even like asking for it, he's expecting it.
The defense will now embark on a summation examination. We've been here before, there's no point in the fanatics. And
Yes,
you
I'm
and
just
your
going to get lost.
and you and your fellows are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman?
We are, my lord.
Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear the grounds on which each of you has decided that the defendant is guilty of the crime of which he is charged.
You know, I feel like this could have been resolved by another piece of evidence that we had.
Oh.
We
What up?
remember we found something in the freaking pocket of the waxwork? It was. I'm like, we could have just presented this. Shrugs. I don't know.
Well, did we have a way to link that initially without presenting the waxwork itself?
Examine the waxwork. There's glass in it. I don't know. They could have just asked for the. We might have. The thing with the evidence is like, part of the time we're holding on to it. Another time we're just keeping a record of it, so we didn't tamper with it. So I'm like sitting here like, is there still glass inside the waxwork? Because
Okay, yeah.
You know?
It would be interesting if it was like, yeah, choose your own adventure. Is this the route you're gonna take this time or this? But I don't think that's how the
That's
game's
way too
designed.
complicated.
Yeah.
For Ace Attorney, that's too complicated.
Yep. I've known that woman for years. She'd never be an accomplice to anything.
Like, hang on. I need to read this.
London Crystal Tower.
Transport.
London, Britain, and Industrial Revolution. Industrialization, a retrospective.
Tower.
Transport device.
Wait, Tower something?
Garner's worldwide acclaim.
Yeah.
There's a picture of Professor Hairbrain.
Transport device.
I wish
Alright,
I could
alright.
read the rest of that text, but it's probably gibberish.
Oh, absolutely. It's utter nonsense to think those two would ever be conniving with one another.
Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely the waxwork the man stole has nothing to do with the coroner, is it?
I've had my own problems with members of the police. I do not trust them very much. What?
Wait,
Okay.
what? What?
Sure, alright.
I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. It's conjecture.
Wait.
Accusing someone without
Can you pull up the court record?
evidence? He's not
For
from
the-
the job, is he? I won't have it.
Why is this child here? And what are we looking at?
Can you pull
Also,
up the picture, the dead body? Can you pull up the picture of the dead body? This was found on the scene.
Yeah.
How? Okay, see, the part that I'm like wondering about is like, okay, so in a scenario where there's a body double, and like one has the waxwork and the other has the real person. The real person was seen getting up on the stage, so we can assume the real person was on the stage.
Yep.
The body double, the waxwork, would have been the one that crashed into the Crystal Tower. But this picture is from the Crystal Tower.
Yep.
This is where Courtney Scythe comes in. Remember, the forensics team are the only one who saw.
Yep.
So who took this picture? Like, does it say who took this picture?
Probably when the cops came.
No, but like, does the description say who took this picture or anything?
Nope.
Taken after he had essentially. Okay, all right.
More than likely, the police took the photo because this was already after forensics had gone over there, or it could have been the forensic that just gave the photo when they were done. Once again, this is where Courtney Seif comes in. She's the only. Her team is the only people who saw this and would likely have switched them and then take the photo.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, that is the argument we are making. Anyway, who brought this child here? Also, reading her text is very funny.
Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this Waxwork motto to the proceedings has polarized opinion.
Given that its face is obscured and its build in no way resembles that of the victim, I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Aspen's body double.
But we didn't get a penalty, and that's what matters.
Yep. Yeah, the applause is deafening. And yes, I know it seems extraordinary. That's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone yet realizes.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? This is one of the rare times I can't actually read your thoughts.
Apparently. I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used. Why it had to be this model. You know what? That's the point.
I can't wait for it to come out that, like, Odie Asman was actually the professor from 10 years ago somehow. I don't know. Or there was a long-lost twin or something.
No! Wait! You just... Wait! Wait, hold on!
What?
Hold on! Courtney Stevens! Courtney Stevens was the one who looked over the professor. And then you have Courtney Seif.
I mean, that's why I picked her in the first place.
No! Why are they the same person?
That's why I picked her, because I assumed they were.
You didn't point that out, though.
Oh, okay.
You just said a name, and I was like, okay, sure, you picked the name, I'm gonna put it in.
Yeah.
I don't explain anything.
Well, that's why
I will not read into this in the slightest.
Bro, I've already played through this game. Why am I played through the game already. I'm not gonna say anything.
So, for everyone else, I didn't pick Courtney's name at random. I picked it because, oh, that's funny that Courtney is the other coroner. It's also, her last name still starts with an S, so it's just, it's probably the same person. Like, come on.
So Enoch specifically went for the professor because there's a connection to Courtney Seif. He could have picked any other wax figure, but he went for that one. So
that's probably how she became an accomplice, is that he basically was like, hey, blackmail.
Called her out. Yep, called her out for blackmail. For something. And we know Enoch Drubbert knows about the professor because he's literally in the wax, the freaking exhibit for the professor, so. Okay, we're putting the dots together.
I've connected the dots.
You can't say we didn't do shit, we actually did shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, actually, we did. We actually connected them this time.
Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean?
Yes, and I'm convinced it's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim.
Well, if that's the case, you must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs.
Yeah, agreed. I have to find a way out of this.
If you are ready, Counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination.
I'm gonna be honest, I really want to know what Juror 3 was talking about with the police, because that was so out there. Yes, my lord.
What?
Like, what does that have to do with guilty? Hang on!
You know, he doesn't want to be guilty, so he understands.
He's not Trevor in the corner like, oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hope he doesn't find anything.
Let me get to Juror 3, because that's just too funny. I mean, these other ones have interesting stuff to say too, but this 3 is just standing out because what? Yeah, Juror 2 is already hinting at it. That's cool, thanks. Okay,
yes, hey, Cab!
What sort of problems?
Let's just say we've run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the streets.
Right, I see.
Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corners, and the like. But please use any excuse to make our lives difficult. Yes, I'm looking at you, buddy. Oh my god, he's got a gun. Oh my god.
My god,
oh my
that
god.
thing's loaded. He could accidentally shoot somebody with that by doing that.
I'm very. It's making me very nervous that he's just spinning it like that.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Ottermole?
Who you calling a mass murderer?
Huh?
No one said that.
No one? Oh, my mistake. I got confused because I heard you look like him. Oh, yeah. He did call him Ottermole. He's not... His name is not Ottermole.
Oh.
His name isn't Ottermole. Rianowski just casually said Ottermole.
Who's Ottermole?
That's a mass murderer.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, look, I don't know you like the man. You want to be locked up, sonny?
Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Perhaps we could move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. Clearly you do.
Back on that, back in the good old days. It wasn't a lot of this. I'm gonna steal Gregson's theme.
Yeah, apparently. What was it like, sir? Is this now the police theme?
I guess. Well, like that thing that's in the bone and the public thrust we did. And by Jove, we owned it. People respected us back then.
Respected you?
No one would have got a coroner in question in them days. A coroner's report was the hallmark of the investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name to it.
Well, thank you, sir, for giving us the evidence we needed right there.
Hold on a minute. Like, thanks? What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens?
Sorry. Got a bit carried away in that.
Stevens is Dr. Sight's maiden name.
Her maiden name? So that was before she was married.
Of course, yes. Still, mate. It's safe now, isn't it?
Stevens? I'm sure I've seen that name somewhere recently.
Unaware. The point is, those were great days of policing. Not like now.
Alright, Grandpa, time to go take you to bed. Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could change your statement to include that name? You know, no reason
Wait.
at all.
Well, yes. I don't see why not.
It's just new information, don't worry about it.
Oh, I mean, I don't see why not. She was Courtney Stevens back when I knew her, of course. A legendary coroner, even then.
So, more than likely, I think we gotta pit 2 and
Dun dun
6.
dun.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna... there. Cool. Objection! Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other.
Wait,
Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel?
wait, actually, how do they contradict each other?
So, juror number 2.
Oh gosh, me? What can I do for you?
I presume that you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to light the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Scythe, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before.
Well, naturally. As a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible. But oh, golly, I'm afraid I fail to see what you mean.
Dr. Scythe's maiden name is Stevens, and through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it. My goodness. Evidence, you say? How utterly enthralling. She is just excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait. Are you here to be a juror, or are you here for the spectacle of it?
I think she's just here for the spectacle. Like, oh, I've been chosen. I've been pitting against another juror. Oh my goodness.
Counsel, the court cannot overlook that last remark. I very much hope there is substance to your claim.
Of course, my lord. I would ask the court to look at this. The evidence that clearly links Dr. Scythe to the mass murderer known as the Professor. This lovely autopsy report?
That
yes.
one.
Take that!
I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago.
A 10-year-old autopsy report? What evidence does that have?
It is, of course, from the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork. The killer known as the Professor.
The Professor's... But the man was a capital offender, so...
That's right. This is a certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens. Oh my! Courtney Stevens?
Strike a light!
That's a phrase reaction, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
It appears that the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Scythe 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Mr. Drebber very deliberately stole the waxwork of the professor from Madame Tuspel's. A waxwork that doesn't in fact resemble the victim, Mr. Asman, at all.
And do you suppose there was some unsavory relationship between those events?
Absolutely. I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind that the professor case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover between Dr. Courtney Scythe and Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships.
This is almost extraordinary. Oh, right, she's a fanfic writer. She's she's a fanfic shipper. Oh, yeah.
Well, we're surely obliged now to explore this further.
She just wants to know the intimate relations between Enoch and Courtney. She's not here for anything else.
Quite right. I can't let this straw come to an end now. Not while there's a cloud of suspicions hanging over the yard's best corner. It wasn't all this in my name, but we're still here to uphold justice in the yard.
Cool.
Thank you for adding that pointless part about it wasn't like this in your day.
I have no idea how to feel about juror number 2 right now.
Do you wonder if she wrote some fanfic after Van Zeke said, "Look into my eyes"?
No, yes, no. When I initially went through the English version of this, I got to her and I was like, oh my gosh, she's like a huge shipper, and she probably reads like really trashy romantic novels and probably writes fanfic. That's just the vibe this juror gives me. Anyway, we are really over time, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to continue this juror stuff in the next video. We'll see you all then.
Bye-bye. Bye. Well.